Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Chivo Garage. In this one, we're back on the Range Rover P38 and we're looking at the alarm unit. So this is the battery backup sounder, the BBUS. I'm guessing it's actually the battery backup Siren. There's the part number on this particular one. I think they're fairly generic over the different years of the vehicle, and the replacement that I fitted had a slightly different number, but is working just fine. So what I found was whenever I turned the car on, even if it was just the ignition without the engine running, I'd hear a ticking noise, and for a long time I thought it was something to do with the engine, but it didn't change with revs or anything. So then I started to think it was something to do with the ABS and brake system, but after a while I realised it was actually this sounder. So I bought a replacement. So I'll show you where it is on the car. It lives just under the bonnet. Oh, heavy bonnet. And just down here, next to the fuse box. So there it is, just there. A little bit awkward to reach. When I first realised that sat there and it was causing the problem, I undid the connector on the back there and unplugged it, thinking I might just get away with it. It seemed to work fine, but it did screw up the locking system. It wouldn't lock. The car seemed, everything was fine except that I couldn't lock the car. I don't know if that's common or anything, but it was a pain. So I did some more digging, and I looked at whether I could change the battery in it, and it sounds like you can't, but we'll put this old unit on the desk later and take it apart and see what we can do. So yeah, basically I replaced it, and this unit was, well, the replacement, this is the original unit, the replacement unit I fitted was I think about £15 off eBay, including delivery. Replacing it was a bit of a pain. So if you look at the old unit with the bracket on the replacement, I put the bracket from the replacement onto this. The bracket is kind of difficult to get out. It's a bit difficult and a bit sort of awkward for access. So what I did is I undid these two side nuts, slid the bracket off the new unit with a bit of, it wasn't, you know, it was kind of held in there a little bit, but it slid off and just popped out, and that gave me the unit bare. And then on the old unit I did the same thing, but found that this brake accumulator here was actually stopping me from getting this to slide all the way out, and it was tight, so I had to use sort of open-ended spanner, and it was a bit of a pain in places, but generally not too bad. But I found that I undid the three nuts on this brake accumulator, and just, it had enough flex and everything to just lift it out of the way a little bit to give me just enough room to slide this out and then pop the replacement unit in, plug it in, tighten everything down, and the weird ticking noise stopped completely. So I'll insert here a bit of a sound clip from the weird ticking noise. But generally I can recommend that for a cheap £15-ish replacement, if you have a strange noise in the engine bay that's coming from that area, swap out your BBUS. And I'll also see if we can take this apart and see what that battery looks like. So to the bench. Now that looks to have 4 tabs with some kind of glue on there. I'm guessing that's some kind of factory anti-tamper protection. Now we can see here into the back of the unit, and it looks like this has some kind of anti-tamper kind of circuit board gel stuff in. I've seen this before, I don't know the name, sorry, but basically it just protects the whole circuit board. And it looks like these might be the battery units, so they might not be replaceable after all. I'll clear this up and see what we've got. Right then, so after spending a while working out some of the encapsulation stuff, we've got down to this, and you can see that these are pretty grotty looking batteries. It also looks like, I don't know if the camera will be able to get in there, but it looks like they're spot welded in all together. and spot welded to the board on the back here. So they're properly attached to the board. Now, I don't know of any better methods for getting rid of this encapsulation, but really, to take this apart, you're going to end up probably damaging something. You could probably do it, but given that the replacement wasn't a lot of money, I'd maybe say this is a consumable, which is such a shame, unless you're a lot more confident with the old electronics than I am. So there we have it, there's the inside. So there we go, that's the battery backup sounder on the Range Rover P38, and the strange engine noise gone. Cheers, catch you in the next one.